Hello and yes, welcome to another album review where I'm going to be going over the album Led Zeppelin IV. So in this review I'm going to do the usual, going to give you a bit of information on the album, we're going to go over each track individually, then I'm going to show you my copy of the vinyl record, then we're going to give it a mark out of 10. But just before we crack down and get started with this review, got a couple things I need to say. First off, I know I uploaded this video yesterday and I filmed it a bit different to how I normally do my reviews. I put a bit more music in. And, of course, copyright, they didn't like it. They're saying your video can't be viewed. So I took it down and here I am, I'm refilming. It's no issue, I don't mind redoing it. Just, kind of a bit of a hassle because I have to redo the video. But anyway, my fault, I put way too much music in it. So in this video I am going to try and keep some music playing in the background. But I have it really died down like I normally do. Second off, really sorry about the lighting. I'm not filming it late at night. It's the middle, well, it's only just turned 2 o'clock here in the afternoon. And typical British day, but I don't want to help stereotype what the British weather's like because everyone thinks it rains here 24/7. It really doesn't. We've had quite a nice summer so far, actually, I'd say. Or a goodish one. And all, we haven't had too much rain, I'll say that. But it is just pouring down today and it's grey, so I've got my little cute lamp on, I've got my normal lights on up there. So I'm not even joking, it's just pouring down. My camera's not picking up the rain very well, but if I open up the window, you'll be able to hear it pretty quick. You hear that? Yep, it's raining. So as I say, we're going to crack right down, we're going to go over the information on the album first now. So this album here, of course, Led Zeppelin IV, is their 4th studio album. This album, of course, was called Led Zeppelin IV, just kind of keep it in routine here, because their first album was called Led Zeppelin I, then we had Led Zeppelin II, then we had Led Zeppelin III, and then Jimmy Page decided, let's keep it going, Led Zeppelin IV. Although it was really just meant to be self-titled Led Zeppelin, but I'm kind of pleased that they put the IV, the 4, on the title, because their first album was actually self-titled, really, and that just kind of got the 1 put on it. So I think it's a good idea that they called it Led Zeppelin IV. It was released on the 8th of November 1971. It was produced by Jimmy Page, of course. All 4 members of Led Zeppelin here, as they were with all of their albums. Just saying that for the fans who don't know Led Zeppelin as well. That all the members were here as they were with all the Led Zeppelin stuff. UK charts got to number 1. Canadian charts got to number 1. The US charts, however, number 2. What on earth had this album at number 2? What? Someone please let me know in the comments below. What album was at number 1? What album stopped this from getting to number 1? Because I just don't believe that an album could... In 1971, because this is easily the best album from 71 in my opinion. What album could keep this off the number 1 spot? I'm so interested to know, because whatever album it is, I'm just going to neglect it now. So, anyway. Rolling Stone magazines, they've done their top 500 album list. It did make the list. Should have been in the top 10. It got number 69. But anyway, it got number 69. It should have been in the top 10, as we say. Classic rock top 10 albums coming at number 1. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know what number it was, top 50, something like that. Greatest rock albums coming at number 4. So anyway, a bit more information on the album. This is the first Led Zeppelin album which featured the 4 symbols. We don't have them on the back cover. Hang on, I'll crack into the sleeve here and show you. And what some people don't know is, because some people just think that them symbols are just random, and they're just used on the Led Zeppelin logo now. But they're actually not. Each Led Zeppelin, each of the the symbols here, sorry, can't talk, each of the symbols represents each member of the band. How? I really don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on Led Zeppelin, but each symbol represents each member of the band. So, one will represent Robert Plant, one will represent Jimmy Page, one will represent John Bonham, and the other one will represent John Paul Jones. This album here also, a lot of the stuff on this record was actually made on the spot, which is really interesting if you ask me. It wasn't an album that was pieced together incredibly well in the early stages, not like some albums, like Tommy for example, where Pete Townsend went into that album like, okay, I know where I want to go, I know where it's going to go, got it all planned out in my head, we just got to make it. This album here, a lot of it was kind of just put together in the studio there and then like that. So it's a really interesting album, and considering that they went in there and then like that with half the tracks, obviously they had a good majority of the stuff on here kind of already planned, but considering they didn't, some of the tracks were made up on the spot, really, it just shows how good the album is and how talented these musicians are. So anyway, we're going to get started now, and the first track on the album is a song called Black Dog. And the actual title track, the title of the track, has nothing to do with the lyrics in the song. The lyrics in the song are basically Robert Plant just singing about, you know, his love for some woman or whatnot. The title of the track, Black Dog, actually comes from the fact that the studio they were recording in, there was a black Labrador that used to roam around outside the studio. Just a stray dog, black Labrador. I don't know where it came from. The dog just kind of just used to wander around the studios, outside of course, in the car parks or whatever. And, you know, the members of Led Zeppelin, you know, Rob Plant and whatnot, they all used to see this dog. So that's where the title of this song comes from. Kind of interesting, but anyway, it's an amazing opener. The best opener, I think. I think they made a really good choice here. Robert Plant's got some amazing vocals here with great lyrics, and also Jimmy Page will come in with this kind of classic tune, and then he'll go back and forward for a bit. Robert Plant do a bit singing, then all of a sudden the guitars and, you know, bass and whatever, you know, they come in and go back and forward. When Robert Plant's singing, there's nothing else happening, it's back and forward, and then, you know, we just get this amazing backing vocals as well. And when we hit the chorus, there's a great guitar solo near the end. This song just rocks. This is one of Led Zeppelin's best songs. So it really opens the album well. Then we get a track called Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll, the track isn't really rock and roll, it is more just pure rock. It's Led Zeppelin, of course it's going to be more pure rock. But it is such a fun track. The jamming sessions, it was really just a jamming session when they made this song. And they were trying to finish the track 4 Sticks. So when they were finishing the track 4 Sticks, you know, they kind of, you know, John was playing Little Richard's Keep On Knocking, and then Jimmy Page kind of made up this guitar riff on the spot, and then before you know it, Robert Plant's standing up singing these really simple lyrics, and boom, you've got your song. It sounds fantastic, and so this song here really came from Little Richard's Keep On Knocking. The intro, they kind of took the intro of that song, added a guitar riff. Robert Plant's come up with these simple lyrics, because they are simple, but they're fun. And boom, you've got your song. It's fantastic, great drum opening, very, very catchy. It, you know, just amazing. It's just an amazing song. It really is kind of incredible when you think about it. You think Black Dog was so good, it's like, well, the album's got to be all downfall from here. But no, it picks up. Robert Plant does this amazing bit where he screams down the mic and it just sounds fantastic. So another great song right there. Then we get the track, the Battle of Evermore. So Evermore, the song is made up on the spot again, really. It's a duet with Sandy Denny. I think that's her name, Sandy Denny. I don't really know her too well. I'm not going to lie and pretend I'm an expert because I really don't know much about her. I got on Wikipedia that she is most famous for being in a band called Fairport Conventions from the 60s, I think. So she doesn't really do too much on the song, though. So maybe you class it as a duet with her, I don't know. You could kind of hear her in the background a bit. But, of course, Robert Plant takes lead singer vocals, and thank God. Because I think that when him and Danny are singing... Danny, I'm saying her surname. When him and Sandy are singing, that, you know, I mean, it sounds good, but it's not like Robert Plant with Alison Krauss from 2007, where their vocals just gel so well. It's kind of like they sound good. It's not the best combination I've ever heard. But then, of course, she steps back and Robert Plant kind of does his solo bit, kind of like with Black Dog. You have Robert Plant doing his bit, and then Jimmy Page come on, do the guitar back and forward. They kind of do that here. Robert Plant would be on his own, then Sandy come in, do a bit with him, back and forward. But it really makes you appreciate how good of a singer Robert Plant is, because he sounds so much better on his own, really, here. And it just sounds amazing. You know, the chorus here is very, very interesting, I'd say. Really, really cool. Jimmy Page, of course, excellent guitar work. Another fantastic song. So now we're going to get onto a track which, if you haven't heard, you must have been living under a rock. Because You know, I say that because this is probably the greatest rock song ever. Probably, maybe not my favourite, but for most people I'd say probably the greatest song of all time. And it's definitely in my top 5 songs of all time. Not my personal number 1, but it's definitely in my top 5, and it's in many people's top 5s, and it's many people's number 1. Stairway to Heaven. So Stairway to Heaven is a song mainly done by Jimmy Page, of course. He had 3 guitar riffs, which he had created during the sessions for Zeppelin II and Zeppelin III. And he knew he wanted to piece them together. But it was kind of difficult for him to piece them together. And when you're hearing the song, you can really hear it, because he starts off with an acoustic. He kind of picks it up a bit, still acoustic, but, you know, picks up the tune a bit. So I guess them 2 pieces weren't too hard to combine. It ends up straightforward electric. So he's gone from acoustic to electric. To do that in an 8-minute piece, it takes a lot of skill. And the way that he combined these songs just sounds fantastic. And I remember watching a documentary on this. It was, you know, you had Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones and John Bonham there kind of jamming, just trying to get the song right. And Robert Plant would be sitting in the corner of the room. He'd just be taking it all in, getting this song. And he'd have a bit of paper and he used to be writing stuff down. And all of a sudden, you know, 1 minute, Robert Plant's sitting there in the corner of the room, just making sure he's got all his notes right, or what turned out to be lyrics, and all of a sudden he's standing up, he's grabbed the mic and he's going, okay, do it again, I've got some lyrics to go with it, let's go, boom. Stairway to Heaven, amazing song, just the opening guitar work sounds amazing, so good. Robert Plant's vocals here, it shows how good he is at singing again, because he's got really nice calm vocals at the start. Around the middle he picks it up, and then by the last electric 2 minutes of the song he's shouting down the mic and he sounds amazing. Jimmy Page, this is his song. This is his song. It sounds amazing. It's just great. John Bonham on drums sounds fantastic. John Paul Jones, of course, great as well here. Just a complete effort from the band. It sounds amazing. It's an absolutely rocking track. 10 out of 10 song. It is amazing. And also this song, it wasn't released as a single, I don't believe. I mean, I could have that wrong, because it might have been released as a single in America, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't released as a single here in the UK. But in the UK, in 2007, it was released as a single. And I don't think it's kind of criminal that it didn't get to number 1. But then again, you've got to think, times have changed. 2007, this type of music isn't the most popular type. So, you know, kids aren't going to be buying this. So it's kind of like, okay, you got to expect it's not going to get to number 1. But it got to number 37. And for what, doing my maths now, a 38-year-old song, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So you really got to give Stairway to Heaven credit, because it just is one of the greatest songs of all time. So that finishes up side 1. I really like what that Jimmy Page done there. He put the longest songs at the end of each side, as we'll see on side 2 as well. But anyway, opening up side 2 of the record is Misty Mountain Hop. Now this opens side 2. Great keyboard work here from John Paul Jones. Just sounds so good. Vocals are really, really creepy here, if I'm being honest. They sound really kind of like straight out of a horror film or something. But it's so fun. And again, it's kind of the same as what I've said with the Battle of Evermore and what other one was it? Black Dog. Robert Plant's vocals here really kind of shows how good he is with this song. So when he's doing them kind of creepy bits, it's like, this is good. This is good. But then Robert Plant comes in, does a bit solo bit, and it's kind of similar, you know, back and forward every now and then. Not quite as repetitive as what it was with Black Dog and the Battle for Evermore, and it really makes you appreciate again how good Robert Plant is, because so, you know, it's like, wow, I just want to hear Robert Plant just scream down the mics. He's so good. Just another really catchy song, great guitar solo, and some people out there probably thinking, Misty Mountain Hop, that kind of sounds familiar. The title track from the album, because the song is basically about, you know, kind of just, it's describing a location, basically. It's like a field and there's people sitting in the garden, you know, there with their picnics and whatnot. It's kind of, I can't remember the lyrics off by heart, but it's kind of like that. And they actually got the title of the track, Misty Mountain Hop, from the Middle-earth books, Lord of the Rings. That is actually the name of one of the mountains, featured in the Hobbit book, not the Lord of the Rings, but Hobbit. So that's pretty cool for those fans of Middle-earth, because, you know, they got a really big fan base as well. So yeah, and then we're going to get onto a track which we've already talked about, Four Sticks. Four Sticks, the title of that track, again, doesn't have anything to do with the lyrics. Kind of seems to be a bit of a repetitive thing with a few of the songs on this album. But Four Sticks actually comes from the fact that John Bonham, when he was recording this song, he couldn't get it right with just 2 sets of drumsticks. So what's he do? 2 sets, with 1 set of drumsticks. So kind of giving it away. What does he do? Picks up another set. So he ends up having 4 drumsticks in his hand. How the hell he done that? I don't know. Just shows how talented he is. And of course there he is whacking away on the drums with 4 sticks, and boom, that's the title of the track. So this was one of the first songs recorded for the album, and of course it ended up leading on to creating the track Rock and Roll. Great guitar riff. The drumming, of course, is amazing. It's a really good song. I would say for me personally it's one of the weaker songs on the album, but when you say a song on here is weaker, compare it to half the albums, compare it to pretty much all the albums that come out in 71, to be honest, it's still great, because this is honestly an amazing record. There are no bad songs on here. So when I say a song's weaker, I don't mean to want it to sound negative at all, because I still think the world of that song. It's still a great track. And then we're going to move on to a track called Going to California. Now this is really just a Robert Plant kind of, just chilled out Robert Plant. He was trying to take a song really serious. He was like, this is my song. This is it. So the lyrics describe a time in Robert Plant's life in the mid-60s, when he just started up in Led Zeppelin. So he's kind of singing about that period of time in his life. I believe he was around the age of 22 at this point. First years in Led Zeppelin. He's just kind of reflecting on how his life's been in recent years. Because, you know, Led Zeppelin 1 come out and whoosh, you know, these 4 musicians have risen to fame almost as quick as the Beatles had. So it's kind of like, you know, you think, wow, that must be a really big change for you in your life. So it's kind of interesting to hear Robert Plant singing about this. Great acoustic work. It's really nice. Really nice, slow, mellow song. Kind of sounds like something that McCartney would do off the White Album, which is, I love it, because it kind of, I think an album needs a song like this. You don't want it to be heavy rock the whole way through, I guess. So I just think it sounds really good. Just levels out the album a bit more. And then we get our final track, When the Levee Breaks. So this is a cover song from, it's a blues song from the year 1929 by Kansas Joe McCoy and Memphis Minnie. I hope I'm saying that right. I have no idea what that song, well, I have no idea about the original, so excuse me if there are some fans of the original track out there watching this and I've just ballsed it all up completely. But it's an interesting song, this, definitely. It definitely picks up the album more from the last track, Down to California, and it's a lot more rocking than the original number as well. Takes a while for the vocals to come in, but boy is it an amazing song. Great guitar riffs the whole way through. It's a bit of a lengthy song again, about 7-8 minutes long. So, as I said, kind of like Stairway to Heaven, they put the long songs on the end of each side of the record. But, geez, it's a great song and I love it to bits. So anyway, now I'm going to show you my copy of the vinyl record. So, this is the remaster. I know I should get the original because I know that vinyl collectors is like, you know, originals are the way to go. And in a way, originals are the way to go, yes. But I'm picking them up as I go, because at the minute I'm still new to Zeppelin. I have 7 of their albums. It's new. I'm nearly almost done, really. But I haven't had many. I've only had the first 3 for a good year. Other than that, I've got 4 through to presents in like the last month. So I still consider myself new to Zeppelin. But yeah, well, I've heard this album many times over the last year or so. So it's been an impact on my life, definitely, this record. But so I was like, I just want to hear these albums for what they are. I want to hear them sounding great. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go with the represses, and I pick up the originals when I can find them. So that's an original there of My Presence, and I have an original of 2 and 3. And then I got represses of 4 through to Physical Graffiti, and then I got like a purple vinyl Spanish copy of their first album. So I really need to get an upgrade on that, because it doesn't sound great. But anyway, these repressings, these are the best remastering jobs I've ever seen. Probably level with the McCartney archives, because I think they're brilliant as well, but they're great. They have one downfall, and it really isn't to do with the music, it's just to do with the packaging. The stickers come on the cellophane, which isn't uncommon. So I just stuck it off and put it on the Blake. But the songs come on a giant sticker on the cellophane, which you don't. It's annoying because then either you put it on the back of your album cover and then it's there forever. So if you want to take it off, you have to be really careful. But then when you put it down on like a Blake sleeve or whatever, you know, you get all these air bubbles underneath. So it's a bit annoying, but oh well, what can you do, I guess. Now then, they've done a superb remastering these albums to look like the originals. I love the album cover to this as well. Great album cover. I'm not sure what it has to do with the album, but I'm sure there's a reason, and I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. Here's the back cover. Got their little record label sticker there. You hear the rain coming down? Jeez. That would have been the gatefold to the original record, and then, oh, hang on, got it, there it is. So you got a picture of them playing live there, and there they are. And just look at Jimmy Page there, my God, he looks young there. So then, I already showed this in the early part of the video, but I'll show it again. This would have been the sleeve to the original record, I believe. And then the records come in these really nice sleeves with the liners so the records don't get wrecked. And you can see the symbols there on the record as well. Of course, this being the remastering, you have the option just to buy the record, but I buy the ones with the bonus vinyl. This was so cheap, I still can't believe it. This was only £4. Brand new from Amazon. Amazing deal. But anyway, you get a bonus record in here with bonus material, and it really is just another version of the album. But what it does is it's really just alternative takes, and there's really little differences in them. But, you know, these pro Led Zeppelin fans, you guys it's amazing. They just pick it up like this. They're like, oh, I noticed the difference. It's like, how? So it really is all the same music, and there are very little difference in the tracks. But they're fun to listen to. I mean, I've listened to both these records, and I could spot out a couple differences in some songs, but others, they're so similar. It's kind of like, how can people spot the differences here? But anyway, so that's it. That's my review of Led Zeppelin IV. I hope I did a good job there, because I know that, as I say, it's like Sgt. Pepper or Dark Side of the Moon. Everything that's known about this album has been said a million times on YouTube, so I kind of feel the same about this album, so it's like, I can't really talk about it. But anyway, I've given it my best shot, as it was requested. So anyway, that's my review of it. Out of 10, it's going to be easy. I was thinking, you know, the song 4 Sticks is the weaker one on the album, but I still love it, so I can't... It's a perfect album, in my opinion. It really is. So it's going to be a 10 out of 10. And I do try not to give albums 10 out of 10s anymore, because I don't want it to make it a habit to look like I'm too generous with every album review I do. But this one here is worthy of a 10. Fantastic album. Amazing musicianship here from all 4 members. Robert Plant sounds amazing. Jimmy Page is at his best here. John Paul Jones, great. John Bonham, fantastic. This is just an amazing record. If you haven't heard it, why haven't you? And if you haven't, go listen to it now, because it is a must listen to. One of the greatest albums of all time. So anyway, there's my review of it. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video, please subscribe, and please leave a message. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.